C programming language tutorial series. In these videos, today I want to discuss about data types and variable concepts. We require data types concepts when we will do any value store program. In my one previous videos, basics program of C languages, that videos I had done a simple C program which only display a message in the computer console screen. For that particular programs, I didn't require any data types and variable concept. So you always remember, when you will do any value store program, for that particular programs, we must require data types and variable concepts. For example, if you want to do using program addition, subtraction, multiplications, or if you want to display all students' records in a school, for example, if you want to show students' names, average marks, total marks, for that type of programs we must require data types and variable concept. Basically, data type determines what type of value in our program store, because storing value may be character type, integer type, or it may be fractional type. Data types determines what type of value we will store in our program, along with what will be the size of the storing value. Simply, data type is just representation of data. So we need to allocate memory space for store data types values. And for allocate memory space in computer memory, we must need to create variables. In simple language, a variable is a particular computer memory location where we can store values. And all variable names always attach at least one data types. I'll show you later complete list of data types, but some commonly used data types are int, int, float, double, char. These four data types are commonly used, but later I will show you complete list of data types. And all data types names in C programming languages are keywords. Now I want to show you the syntax of using data types. How will you create variables? So let's see. For create variable, first we need to write the data types names. Data type names, and after that we need to write the variable names. Variable names. After that requires semicolon. This is the syntax of using data types. You can create variables. For example, int m semicolon. Here int is data type name and m is variable names. When you will declare like this int m, in computer memory 2-byte memory space will allocate for variable m, because int integer data type size is 2 bytes. So in computer memory 2 bytes memory space will allocate for variable m. Here m is variable name. In this allocated memory spaces, now you can store values. Here you can store values. But if you declare m's variable data types float, suppose this time if you declare m variable data types float, then computer memory space will allocate 4 bytes, because float variables data type size is 4 bytes. But in case if you declare m variable data types char, char, then in computer memory space will allocate 1 bytes, because char data type size is 1 bytes. But in case if you declare m variable data types double, then in computer memory space 8 byte memory space will allocate for variable m, because double's data type size is 8 byte. Now I want to discuss types of data types in details. Generally, data types sorted into three types. First one is called primitive data types, second one is derived data type, and third one is user defined data type. Primitive data types also four types, which are int, float, char, and void. Generally, there are four types of derived data types, which are array, pointer, string, and function. User defined data types also four types, which are structure, union, typedef, and enum. These are the three classifications of data types: primitive type, derived type, and user defined type. But in these videos, I'll discuss only primitive data types. Derived data type and user defined data type I'll discuss later, because all these data types like array, pointer, function, structure, union, all are separate concepts in C programming. Basically in C, data types means only primitive types are considered, which has four categories: int, float, char, and void. Primitive data types also subdivided into some types. So let's see. Int data types divided into three types. First one is short type, which size is 2 bytes. Int type, which is also 2 byte size, and long type, which size is 4 bytes. Again, short data types is divided into two types. First one is signed short int, and second one is unsigned short int. Like this, int also divided into two types: signed int and unsigned int. Long is also divided into two types: long signed int and long unsigned int. The basic difference between unsigned and signed integer is, if we declare a variable with unsigned integer, then that particular variable's value must always be positive number. For example, if we want to store student's roll number, then we can declare a variable roll number using unsigned, because student's roll number is always positive integer number. But if we declare a integer variable using signed, then that particular variable's value may negative or positive both. So this is the basic difference between unsigned and signed integer. Unsigned integer variable's value must always be positive, but signed integer variable's value may negative or positive both. And you always remember that default declarations of integer variable is signed. For example, if we declare a variable like integer a, then by default this variable a is signed int. So we can store value like positive or negative number in the variable a. So here one integer data types are classified into 6 types. Now question is, why we require these 6 category of integer data types? And answer is, we can choose data types according to the size of the data. For example, if we want to store phone number or bank account number, then these are 10 digits or more than 10 digit number. So in this case, we must declare a variable with long integer. But if we want to store student's roll number is always positive integer number. So in this case, we can choose data types unsigned int. But if we store only value 20, then we can declare variable with short int. So it depends as our programs require data, which data types is useful for our program. Float data types is divided into three types: float, double, and long double. When our storable data is fractional number, then we choose float data types. For example, if we store student average mark may be fractional number. So in this case, we should declare average as a variables with float data type. Here float size is 4 bytes, double size is 8 bytes, and long double size is 10 bytes. Character data types also divided into two types: signed character and unsigned character. Signed character and unsigned character both occupy 1 byte memory. And void means nothing. I will discuss details about void when I'll discuss concept of function in C. So this is the classification of primitive data types. Next videos I will show you how will you use these data types in your program practically. So keep watching, subscribe this channel. Anybody can programmer. Please like and comment this video.